because you're a scratchy dog. Yes, you are. Scratchy dog. I think it's going. All right, everybody. Welcome to Used to a Problem, where there's nothing but problems, baby. Problems here, problems there, problems everywhere. The latest, that was someone told me to look at today, is that Fidelity has changed everyone's cost basis and tax standing for their NextBridge shares. It doesn't matter when you purchase those shares. You could have purchased Torchlight years ago, had it convert to MMTLP, and the MMTLP turned to NextBridge. They will say in your account that you made the purchase of NextBridge on December 29th, 2022 at an average cost basis of $2.99. So you lost all of your long-term tax benefits. It's now a short-term holding. So if there is a sale of any kind on that stock, you're going to be paying twice the taxes. And your cost basis is all weird. I don't really know what they're doing. So, yeah. So shenanigans, man. Shenanigans. Off. The other one's off. Everything's off. No double intros. Okay, so what, other than Fidelity just screwing up, what would be the benefit of telling everyone something they purchased years ago they didn't? Like, who benefits from that? Why would Fidelity do that? Someone spoke to their Fidelity rep after this was revealed. The Fidelity rep said NextBridge had told them that the cost of each share is $2.99. NextBridge didn't tell anyone spit. They have not announced the value of the shares. Also, you know, why would you make the purchase of the shares December 29th while the stock was frozen, was in a hold, was in a halt? I don't get it. I don't get why they're making it so weird. And all it does is just resort to us calling them all over again, be like, hey, what the fuck? And them going, oh, people will stop calling me. Well, stop giving us reasons to call you, dude. Right? If you keep screwing up, we're going to keep calling. So stop screwing up and we'll stop calling. It's not that hard to figure out. Action, reaction. This shirt's going to be open. I'm glad I'm wearing a t-shirt because you'd be getting a window into my soul, this shirt today. This is a silk Italian shirt, and my nerps keep trying to poke through also. It's high fashion, baby. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I do the business stuff. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell. Hit the join button. Do the membership thing if you want. I think that's all I'm supposed to do, right? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, people celebrating. It's Friday. It is Friday today, isn't it? Squamps. Dude, the gosh darn countdown gets me every time. I imagine it's Houston waiting at the launch bay, fully reclined in his computer chair just before he starts the video, and he farts into upright. Kind of, I mean, I was just doing this up until about 2:45. And then I was like, oh, there we go. Launch initiated. Jack Hamilton just saw the 209 BS and total cost base is all jacked up. So it sounds like tax fraud. If I sell a car for $5,000 per report to the IRS, I sold it for $2,000. Yeah. I mean, I've had the opposite problem where I bought years ago, after I flipped my truck in the desert, I had to get a new truck. So I got a truck I bought down in California. Flew down to California, bought it, drove back up. I flew to California and bought it because it's $8,000 cheaper in California than it was for the same truck here in Washington. So, yeah, I'll spend a $79 plane ticket to go to Ontario, California and buy a truck and save $8,000. Drove it up in 2 days, had a new truck. Went to go register it, and the guy refused to believe me that I bought this truck for $3,000 when all the trucks are selling for $8,000. I'm like, buddy, I flew to California specifically to buy this truck for $3,000 because all the trucks here were $11,000. He's like, well, I got to charge you sales tax on an $11,000 truck. I'm like, no, you do not. You only have to charge me sales tax on a $3,000 truck because I bought a $3,000 truck. Well, they're not going to believe me. I'm like, I don't care if they believe you. They can come fight me for it and see that I wrote a check for $3,000. Bureaucrats, man. Anyway, yeah. Iggy Lemon. What are your thoughts on the Pixies? Are they overrated noise or actually a good 90s band? I think the Pixies are a very good band. I think Kim Deal was the true genius, and Frank Black was an also-ran. People tried to establish the genius on Frank Black, but I think it was really Kim Deal. You'll notice that Kim Deal's other projects, the Amps, what's the other one, Monkey? Crap. They're the other one. Were awesome, and her solo projects are awesome. Frank Black's solo albums, kind of boring. So here we have like the Roger Waters, David Gilmour problem, where like Roger Waters wanted all the credit for doing everything Pink Floyd, and then when he went off and did solo stuff, it sucked. But when David Gilmour made solo things or continued on with Pink Floyd, it was all good. So sometimes some of the songwriters, I think, don't quite realize the input of their band members are as good as they actually are. Anyway, I enjoy the Pixies. They're in Salentine. G&E started squeezing again, up 56%. Well, there you go. There's something for your Friday. Chris Taylor trying to guess off-cue show intros. There'll be none. They're all off. There are going to be no show intros. None. We did it. That's it. No more. No more. Okay. 100K. Houston, we have a problem. I think I know what they're going to do. They, brokerages, hedge funds, buddies, are going to wait it out. NextBridge will be sold within the next year. Even if they wait it out, they're still going to be out a fortune for whatever NextBridge sells for, which is going to be far more than the cash they have on hand. If there is, in fact, 1 billion shares, right? There's 1 billion fake shares that they made, and they have no way of closing in those positions. And let's just say that on the low end, the dividend is $20. That's $20 billion in cash they don't have. They're going to have to give out as payment in lieu for all those shares that they invented. 20 billion. They don't have 20 billion. That will wipe out every single solitary one of those hedge funds. So what are they going to do? No matter any outcome, they're screwed. Shares have to get closed, screwed. Waiting for a dividend, screwed. The only thing that can help them is if they allow it to trade normal, or they force it to trade normal against the wishes of the company, and then continue to short it forever. That's the only way that they come out on top. Because the other two options, which are the only legit options, they can't. They're screwed. So, look into the window of my soul and tell me what my heart says, right? Okay. Bitcoin, Houston. Any bad economic data surfacing in the world? Russia getting its butt kicked after the mud season and the repercussions. China's economy collapsing this year and repercussions. Housing. Housing's, I think, going to start being a lot more on the forefront. The number of days a house on market. I read something earlier showing average days home on market. Housing inventory. Here we go. Yeah, housing inventory. Well, it went down a little bit. January is at 74 days. We're at 67 for February. mean, it normally goes up in the winter every year, but the peak is higher than it has been since 2020. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing because I didn't turn on the doohickey. Chrome, click, clack, done. Okay. So January 22, we're up to 61, but the peaks are starting to swell higher again. The difference is that the number of homes on the market aren't as many as have been in the past because everyone's scared to list their home because the prices are starting to go down. I mean, 2017, the average was like 96 days. Can we go further? Can allow me to do back to like 09? No, it will not. But we're at 74 in January and then 67 for February. There's a weird little hiccup here from COVID. Like this little guy here, that's not normal. Normally it's wintertime, it goes up, summertime it goes down. But this past summer or spring was the like lowest at 30. Like this is selling far faster than any other period for the last 5 years. The previous lows are right about where our high is now. And so I think we're going to see, for the moment, a lot fewer homes in the market. And then as Airbnbs start to fail, as home flippers start to fail, as new constructions don't sell at prices they want, we're going to start to see foreclosures. We'll see big investment groups, BlackRock and similar, trying to dump their housing inventory because the maintenance on them is going to be so insanely expensive that it's just not worth it to be a property manager, and there's no one to flip the homes to. So my guess is that we'll see, probably starting this summer, more homes being sold probably by banks and as foreclosures. And that glut is going to lead to a weird little bump like we had here in 2020 during COVID, which will mean next winter will be way up there. Because as long as interest rates are this high, no one's going to be trying to get loans to buy a house. Why? Why would you try to get a loan to buy a house if your interest rates are like 7%? It's absolutely insane. I mean, if it's 7% and the home's selling for $60,000, who cares? But if the average home price is $500,000, you don't want to buy a home at 7%. That's just silly. Silly. Michael Harrow, I was the one who DM'd you on Twitter about the Fidelity situation. It was funny when the Fidelity rep offered me to transfer the shares AST in my name for $100 for each transaction occurrence. I can transfer it for you. That's going to help my tax status, right, buddy? Fried tater explosion. Aloha from wintry Vermont. What are you doing in Vermont? You skiing it up there, fried tater? No Oahu for you today? Michael Harrow, I think Fidelity changing it all to short terms akin to backdating. Yeah, probably. I mean, makes as much sense as anything else. I don't understand truly what their goal is with it at all. Chalupa is the cameraman. He's all about cable management. I don't know where Chalupa is right now. He's not hanging out with us. So you might hear his whine at the door later, and I'll let him in. But he's somewhere else right now, causing havoc. 100K, the brokerages, i.e. FINRA, can draw out litigation, keep juggling QSIPs, falsely name our shares in NextBridge hydrocarbons, warehouse our shares until Exxon, Occidental, etc. Once the sale is complete, all brokerages will pay out the dividend to 65,000 shareholders at $100 per share, remain solvent, dissolve the shorts, wipe their foreheads, and put this behind them. Well, the thing is that those 65,000 shareholders own way more than the 165 million shares that are supposed to exist. And every single one of those things is a huge liability. If it's $100 per share, $100 billion, they don't have $100 billion, right? They don't have the liquidity for the $100 billion. We saw when Archegos went down and their liabilities were less than 30 billion, it basically destroyed 5 banks. Credit Suisse is just hanging on for dear life right now. There's like one little string that they're dangling from a cliff, holding on to, going, oh, and it's just go pink, stick and they're going to fall to their death. It's all Archegos right there. So if there's several hedge funds, they're going to blow up, they're going to owe tens of billions for a payment in lieu, then those banks are going to owe tens of billions in a payment in lieu, and they don't have it because they lent way too much money to hedge funds to play with. It's not the best business model, I think. Michael OHara Fidelity just made this whole situation to a tax headache. Yup. Ah, crap. The chat reset. Where are we going? Sorry. Okay. Bird Bear, Houston. Curious if you did geology field camp, and if so, whether Hilo was going to Paletta Folds, White Mountains, California, at that point in time. I ran into a few years ago. I did not do that particular trip, but that's exactly where they went one year. I didn't actually get to do any of the fun geology trips. I didn't have the money. But I know I have friends who did that exact trip. They went to the Sierras. They did their structure, where you like learn how to draw the rocks and everything. A lot of mapping. The only trips I got to do with Hilo were with geography. We went to Kohalave and did mapping. And then we did like a volcano, like a week climbing around the volcano, because it's right there and that's basically free. So, yeah. But that's exactly where they went. Billcoin Adanjo, they're waiting for all of us to die of old age. That's probably the best method to have. And Rollingbay Houston, I think that you should make a t-shirt with the frozen screenshot of you right after the cat shut down your computer. Was it like this? Michael OHara, Fidelity rep, did tell me that my shares are being held in street name. Even asked if I will get dividend if issued, and he said, yes, I will believe it when I see it. Yeah. Iggy Lemon, Houston, it sounds like Fidelity MMTLP holders need to file a complaint with IRS so they can look into it. That's probably good. We probably should file a complaint with IRS. Say, hey, this is shady as heck. Send a couple of your gumshoes that way and look into it for us. Just bug that. We just hit them with every regulator we possibly can and just bug the hell out of them until they just pull their hair out, give up, and decide that a prime broker's cash isn't worth this headache, right? Okay. Bill Coyne, Russia getting its butt kicked after mud season, China's economy collapsing this year, repercussions. Well, I guess I didn't really answer those first parts. I think the big problem for Russia is that they can pump oil and they can sell oil, and they're basically selling it at a loss. I mean, India is getting oil from Russia for $38, $40 a barrel right now, and then probably reselling it for a fortune. But Russia doesn't have the institutional knowledge or the technical capabilities to drill new wells, to create new pipelines, to do any of that work. I mean, they're taking all the young men who could do that stuff and making them cannon fodder in eastern Ukraine. And a lot of the folks who have the technical capabilities fled. They're like, I'm too smart to be in this crap hole. And they left. And so there's this huge brain drain in Russia. So when current wells start to tap out or systems start to fail, pipelines break, whatever, their production is going to start plummeting incredibly fast. China, on the other hand, China's such a weird deal because, like, their currency is 100% manipulated. They tie the value of their currency to the dollar, basically, and can do whatever they want. Like, today, the value is 10 yuan per dollar, or whatever it is they want to make it. And so they can just print, and you have to deal with China's determination of the value of their coin. It's not truly fiat. Now, will outside markets continue to agree on China's assessment of the value of their currency if China starts defaulting on more than just the real estate bonds, if they start defaulting on all those municipal bonds, like 9 trillion in municipal bonds that were illegal, never should have happened, because they're not going to pay it. China gonna be like, screw you. What are you going to do about it? So they're not going to pay any of that crap. And that's going to lead to all sorts of trade issues. Big banks around the world aren't going to do business with China. Big banks aren't willing to do business with China. They're going to be really hard hit to get financing to build factories and other infrastructure from this point forward. And the infrastructure they have, like, cool. They built all these high-speed rail trains and stuff. But a lot of it is tofu dang construction. It's made with substandard materials, questionable engineering. I was reading about a high-speed train. It goes from like Beijing to Shanghai. The thing does 400 miles an hour or whatever. And it requires a certain grade of concrete for the forces of like banking. Like that a train banking at 400 miles an hour puts an incredible stress on a piece of infrastructure. And they only had 15 kilometers worth of that concrete. And they built like the other 1,500 kilometers out of a substandard concrete. Now, I don't know when that would fail, but my guess is that, air and water gets in there, concrete starts to crack, rebar starts to expand, and then the whole thing can just create a huge disaster. I have a feeling that we might start seeing some infrastructure failures in the next decade for a lot of the construction that's happened over the last 20 years. And then China, they'll have the people power, but will they have the access to cash to do a lot of the maintenance they need to do? All this defaulting will definitely put a hamper on that. And, a large part of their Belt and Road diplomacy, where they're like going and building highways and ports around the world, a lot of that is economic hitman stuff. And if you read Confessions of an Economic Hitman, you know what I mean by that? In that China will be like, hey, we'll build you guys a road. You just take out this loan. You pay us that money for the loan. We build the road, and then you owe us on the loan. And the country's like, okay. And so they build this infrastructure. They get paid for it with their own money, and then they owe them the money again to do it. We did it all over the world. Americans did it. It was evil what we did. We did it to every country in the world. Japan did a whole bunch of it in like the 80s and 90s. Brazil, the financial crisis in 97 in South America resulted in Brazil needing huge infusions from the World Bank and IMF. And they did like a $42 billion loan through the World Bank to Brazil. That $42 billion loan came from the Bank of Tokyo. The Bank of Tokyo is owned by Mitsubishi. The loan was to pay Mitsubishi Electric to build a bunch of dams that they then owed the $42 billion on. So, Bank of Mitsubishi gave money to Brazil, they gave it back to Mitsubishi, and then they owe Mitsubishi again. It's a brilliant, brilliant scam. And China is doing this all over the place. They're building ports in like Eritrea, and roads in the Congo, and stuff like that, airports all over. And then they're saying, hey, you owe us money. We flowed these bonds, you owe us money for these things now. And what happens if China doesn't pay their bonds? If China doesn't pay their bonds to the rest of the world, then why should anyone pay any bonds to China, right? So Eritrea might be like, thanks for the port, eat shit, right? Well, China does have a military base there, so it might be harder for Eritrea to do that. But it's going to be a very weird... I had 2 roommates once, and they were the same dude. Both of them smoked just a ton of pot, were fly fishing guides, and watched TV all day. That's what they did. We sat in their rooms, smoked pot, watched TV, and every once in a while took people out to do fly fishing. And when it came time for us to move out of that house and, clean everything up and get our deposit back, there was a kerfuffle. Now, I took care of the rent. One of them took care of the electric, the other took care of the water. Now, I wish I just took care of everything because it would have saved me time and energy and money and whatever. But one guy owed $300 for electricity, and the other guy owed $300 for water, and they wanted to murder each other. And I was like, guys, just cancel it. You owe each other the same amount of money. Let bygones be bygones. Like, fuck, that guy owes me $300. That guy owes me $300. Blah! and it like came to blows, and police got called and charged. It was just a mess. I'm like, dude, just wipe the slate clean, man. Anyway, as I digress, yeah. No, none of them were Dijon Grey Poupon. This is post-college, SS Minnow Johnson. Those were all rainbow children names. A bunch of hippies. Okay. Iggy Limon, Houston, all brokers have until March 15th, postmark 1099. Otherwise, they get in trouble with the feds. Well, we got 12 days. I still haven't gotten mine. So, come on. Louis Vasquez, can you talk about Citadel 13F? Which one? The one from the they're from their hedge fund, or the one from the market maker? Okay. Citadel Advisors. Citadel Advisors is the hedge fund, I believe. Where are you? Holdings, finance, check. Nope, not that one. Sorry, one sec. Go back. No, don't give me ads. Go away. All right. Stop it. No. Okay, and that's not the one either. That's not at all what I want. I don't want any of this. Go away. Close. Give me their 13F, not just some weirdo's interpretation. Come on. Current market value, 428 billion. That just seems ridiculous. Okay. I can't get where's the stupid 13F that shows me the securities sold, not yet. All right. Securities sold, not yet purchased. There we go. That'll get me there. Ah, it's 2021. I don't want 2021. You bastards. Where is the most recent one? Come on, SEC. I can't find it. There was one that showed 45 billion securities sold, not yet purchased. Another one that showed $200 billion of securities sold. I think one is the hedge fund and one is the market maker. And I am not at all. Why aren't you showing up? SEC, your website sucks. Okay, maybe we'll do SEC. Oops. 2019. I don't want 2019. I want 2023, dude. Again, 2021. Why am I making this so hard? That's from December. I might get closer. Ah, there's the one. Okay, SEC database. There we go. Okay. Wait a minute. Nope, that's 13G. That's not 13F. Gosh dang it. Anyway, without trying to find it here. Houston's face while searching the internet. They have a whole bunch of securities that they sold to people that they never gave them. 45 billion on one side, 200 billion on the other. They paid $7 billion in sort of penalties and interest on those securities. As far as they're concerned, it's basically free money because they're never going to close that crap out. They'll let that go to $1 trillion. They'll go to 10 trillion. I don't care. It's cash for them to play with, and then they die. Who gives a rip? So, I mean, it's not any different than last year, except it's more. I don't know. Casey Chapman, can you explain the hype around Alpine situation? The Alpine situation? Huh? I don't know if I can, Casey Chapman. Alpine Electronics? Alpine what? I don't know, Casey. What's the Alpine? Alpine stereos? Alpine. Alpine. I don't know the hype because I don't know what you're talking about. So no, I cannot. Maybe let me in a little more info, and I'll see. Alpine GTII. Ah, okay. Okay. I mean, they're shorted. I just don't know if they're actually going to explode like people are expecting them to. I mean, there's lots of folks who are like, GTII is going to be the biggest thing in the entire world, and then it's just kind of, so I don't know. They seem to be jumping on board, perhaps with the CEO block thing, and maybe doing some lawsuits out there. But honestly, I don't know if they're going to be as big as everyone says. If you got in last summer and then in October it exploded to $5 or whatever, you made a fortune. But I don't know if it's going to blow up again after that. Honestly, don't. It's got enough interest in it, the people talking about it, that you'll probably get these cycles of volatility. But as far as everything else, it's like any of these other meme stocks, right? It gets some volatility in there, but never explodes to the point where it does the damage it should do. They just go, oh crap, let's just short it again, make a bunch of money from here, and they just power through it, and then we get trapped some more, just sitting and waiting, doing the thumb twiddling, because we just love twiddling thumbs, man. That is what we're real good at. We make little YouTube videos, we twiddle our thumbs, and we go, harumph. We shake our fists in anger, and we're waiting for something somewhere to be like bigger than anyone can control to blow this whole thing up. And, just practice. Just sit at home right now, watch the video, and just twiddle your thumbs. That is the most that most of us can do right now. Twiddle thumbs and then stare at my chest hole. KYP, thanks for all you do. Much appreciative. Well, thank you, KYP. Yeah. All right. BreW was supposed to go see CEO Adam tonight for Detroit screening, but we are getting stupid blizzard. Detroit in the winter. You guys are in the wrong location to do anything fun. Michael Harrow asked the failure up to email me what he told me on the phone, and he would not do that. I will not put this in writing. Flight Guy 99, is this so Fidelity can reconcile the books for taxes? Maybe. Green Eye Bandit Elixir. Houston, I love you and your doggy and cat, but you are woefully wrong about trusting Fidelity. I'm done with brokers. DRS, here I come. Either at least have a system implode and be remade fair. I mean, it's going to implode, be remade fair anyway, regardless of where you hold your shares. It just makes my cost basis insane to have to register them all. Project Sound wrong. Everything Floyd did post Waters is straight trash. Man, the Final Cut album, which was the album that caused the band to break up because Roger Waters had them put written by Roger Waters, performed by Pink Floyd on the album, was the worst Pink Floyd album of all time. That album was straight garbage. And Roger Waters' solo stuff, yeah, man, just Division Bell was a pretty solid album. It was. Roger Waters is sort of, his voice is sort of like a British Bob Dylan. Like anyone can do his vocals better than he does. David Gilmour's got a better voice than Roger Waters. Plus, Roger Waters is like a Russian fascist, so he's like Putin all the way, baby. The Breeders. Thank you, Iggy. The Breeders. That's the word I was thinking of. Yes, the Breeders. Thank you. That was Kim Deal's other band. Fantastic. Fantastic band. Boom. Sensitivity forward are options. Bitch, moan, complain, be incessant. Those are pretty much our options. So while twiddling your thumbs, your phone is of course on speaker because you're not holding it to your head. You're twiddling your thumbs and you're saying, broker rep, why is this weird thing being weird? Fix it. And the broker's going to go, stop calling me. And you're like, I'm going to call you back in 5 minutes and ask you the exact same question because I'm your customer and you're fudging with me. So that's what we do. That's our options. Just complain, 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 complain. 100K PS, been a student of yours since Torch. Thanks, you're awesome. Well, thank you. All right. Oh crap, where did the chat reset again and then I lose my spot as I'm scrolling. Okay. All right, breeders. John Smith Doe, Bank of America launched a 0 down payment mortgage that makes it much cheaper and easier to buy a home. At what interest rate? Because like if your payment plan is like $3,000 a month, it's because you're doing 7% interest or something. Bank of America 0 down mortgage program. Bank of America Community Hardship Commitment provides a low down payment for modest income and first-time buyers. It's August. So offers 0 down payment. Okay. Let's see what this has for us. Because Bank of America is one of those banks that's also about to get obliterated. They failed all 3 versions of the stress tests recently. Okay. So it's community home ownership commitment. Announced a new mortgage solution for first-time home buyers that offers a bank-provided down payment and no closing costs. Community affordable loan solution is available in designated markets, including certain Black, African American, Hispanic, Latino neighborhoods in Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Miami. Community affordable loan solution aims to help eligible individuals and families obtain an affordable loan to purchase a home. So this is looks like this is like former redlined areas that couldn't get loans before. So perhaps this is to make up for that. So it's in it. It says bank provided down payment. So the bank is making the down payment. That's weird. Neighborhood Assistance Corporation of America, which the bank's committed to providing additional $15 billion in mortgages to low to moderate income buyers through May 2027. Okay. So this is for specific areas through some sort of nonprofit designed to get home ownership in these areas. But they do have plans to expand in 2023. Interesting. All right. That's neat and all, but I'm sure the interest rates are insane. Josh Pep House, Tennessee. Happy birthday, Houston. Would you rather have a crystal ball with all the knowledge of the world or a wallet with unlimited money? The wallet, one at a time, random increments. The ball gives answers backwards. So, like, answers backwards, like, a rock won't be falling on your head in 5 minutes. That type of thing. And it means a rock will be falling on my head in 5 minutes, or backwards, and that I've got to read it backwards, like how Yoda speaks. Or the wallet is unlimited money, but is it like I get $1 once every 4 years, but for infinity I could get $1 and technically have infinity dollars? There's a lot of contingents on this there, Josh. I'm trying to wrap my head around which genie trick you're trying to give me here. Okay. I'm just going to go with unlimited money because I can read books. I enjoy reading books. So I'm going to go with that. I can buy all the books I want with that. Okay. Crap. Where were we? Readers. MS Bed Bath & Beyond getting Chatter as a gamma ramp to Squeezer. I hope so. I got some lotto tickets. I'm waiting to see where it goes. The crazy thing is like the other day when I bought my April 21st calls for Bed Bath & Beyond, they were 15 cents or something, at $5. And you could go all the way up to like $40 and they were still 15 cents. So why on earth would anyone buy a $40 call if it costs the same as a $5 call? That's the stuff that just doesn't make any sense to me when that happens. Like every once in a while I'll be surfing options and I'll see something like that where like, you know, the stock price is $7 and the $8 call is 38 cents or whatever. And then the $10 call is 71 cents. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you spend more money for a worse call option that has less of a chance of paying out? I don't understand. Do you understand, Monkey? You don't understand. You don't understand a damn thing. You just know I talk to a wall. And then every once in a while I'll give you something out of a bag, and that's all you care about, right? Right? Just look at that face. Look at that face right there. It's a face that has no idea what's going on. Ever. None. No idea. No idea what's going on. Rick Esprit, Houston. Did the SEC just pass addendum to the show threshold rule 203? Can you elaborate on it? I read that rule 50 times. I have no idea what that rule is trying to say. A lot of people have tweeted about it. I've read that thing and I read it again and again and again and again. Let's see here. I know William Morgan sent it to me. Let me just let my Twitter open up here. Taking forever these days. Okay, I sent it to me here. All right, let's look at this thing. Okay, RegShow, unless a user selects to the post to away a routing option set forth under paragraph B3 of this rule that will post to an away trading center an order marked short when a short sale price test restriction pursuant to Rule 201 of RegShow is in effect is not eligible for routing by the exchange. If an order is ineligible for routing due to a short sale price test restriction and such order is an IOC order, then the order will be canceled. If an order is ineligible for routing due to a short sale price test restriction pursuant to Rule 201 of RegShow and such order is a limit order, the exchange will post the unfilled balance of the order to the BZYX book, subject to the price sliding process as defined in paragraph G, Rule 11.9. I have no idea what any of that gobbledygook means whatsoever. I mean, I don't have the rest of the rules here, so I only have one little picture, so I can't see what B3 is because I only have B1. I don't know what the BYZX book is, and I don't see paragraph G of Rule 11.9 because would be somewhere above the screenshot. So I have no idea what any of this means whatsoever. I mean, this may as well be a turbo encabulator video. I don't know. Someone who knows better than me needs to explain it to me like I'm 5 in this case, because I don't know what any of this is referring to. Yeah. Okay. Josh Pepels, Tennessee. Way to get a secondary super chat. The wallet can be pulled from at any time, but the increment that comes out is random. Yes, the ball answers questions backwards like Yoda. Okay, yeah. No, I'll take the wallet. Because sometimes I just want to turn my brain off, Josh. I want to go sit on a beach somewhere. And, granted, I'll have that wallet, right? And the cabana lady will come by, bringing drinks and food. And I'll be like, here you go. It might not be the right amount, but I'll be like, whatever. You get $300 today. Maybe you get $20 tomorrow. I don't know. Come back again with the rest of my food later. And that's just how we're going to play. John Smith Doe. No down payment loans are based on credit guidelines, including on-time bill payments, including rent, utilities, phone, auto insurance payments. No minimum credit score or mortgage insurance required. That's how all loans, how all mortgages should be. I wrote about this several times. I personally think that if you would like to buy a house and you your presumed mortgage on that house will be less than you're currently paying in rent, right? Let's say you're paying $2,800 a month in rent right now, and you're trying to buy a house that'll be $1,500 would be your mortgage payment. You should automatically be approved for that mortgage. There should be no questions about it. It should just, you forget the credit score crap that's only been around since 1989. Like, it should just automatically approve you for your mortgage. All right, he's here. Hey, buddy. You want to come ruin some shit? Yeah? Did I do that? Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, you did, you little monster. All right, the one-man destruction crew is here. He's just being a floor cat now. Okay, but, you know, and on top of that, I would like to limit the number of homes any individual, family, or corporation can own. I don't think anyone, anywhere in America, should own more than 4 homes of any kind. I don't care if you are doing Airbnb. I don't care if you're a landlord renting out. I don't care if you have multiple vacation homes. I don't care if you're a big giant company and you own an entire apartment building. You're going to have to sell off everything except for 4 of those units. And that's just the way it should be. I don't think that we should have large-scale landlords at all in America. I don't think they provide a good service. I think they're largely evil. And they tie up housing prices, and they jack rents up, and they collude with each other. So you have 4 homes. You have a couple, your house, your vacation house, maybe 2 rentals, one you put your grandma in or whatever. No one needs more than 4 homes. So you want to have more than 4 homes, then get a timeshare or go to another country to buy more homes. But 4 homes in America is more than enough for anybody. Open up the housing market for more sales of homes. Get rid of the stupid credit score business and make it so that people who have been paying rent can buy a home that's cheaper than their rent. All right, cat, right? Wouldn't you like to buy a house, kitty? Yes. All right. Buy a house. Okay. Ow, that's my leg. That's very sharp. Ow. Okay. Hoshi Gaming, Houston, hello from Japan. This place is amazing. Well, all right. Glad you're having a good time in Japan. Where in Japan are you? Hello, sister. Just got done doing 3 weeks with her boyfriend. They skied up in Hokkaido and they made their way down to Tokyo, visit family and stuff. She's half Japanese and then he's also half Japanese. So they both have family all over Japan. Citizen54, Houston, everyone should download their account history showing MMTLP buys. Do not let Fidelity do your record keeping. Yes. Always take screenshots of all that stuff. I made sure to take a bunch of screenshots months ago before all the shenanigans happened. So I've got those on my phone at least. Bird Bear, Houston, did you finally shake that stalker dude? I hope so. I thought I had, and then all of a sudden yesterday, he started posting like crazy again. So I don't know what I did to trigger him. But if you get anything from Zero Fud Zone, that's him. Report it for stalking and harassment to Twitter. And then note, because you have an option to like do an explanation inside of your flagging of the reporting their tweets. Note that he used to be called Pick Battles, and he's using that account to circumvent his banning for harassment and stalking and threats. Just he gave up for such a long time, and now he's back. It's just so annoying. Okay. Korean guy whose name I can never pronounce. Funny, I got a phone call from Chase yesterday. Chase was offering me giving better rate if I'm interested. Chase used to be pretty arrogant bank. Now they're looking for a buyer. Oh my. Yeah, Chase also failed all those stress tests. It was Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, right? And a couple others had some here and there. Oh, Credit Suisse, they also failed miserably. Bat Bones, dig the shirt tonight. Oh, you must have some Italian high fashion in you. Dustin Wright, is it just Fidelity who's doing this tax fraud? I don't know. I think anyone, you should check if you're in Schwab or whatever, you should check and see what your cost basis is and what the tax status is of your NextBridge shares. I have a feeling that Fidelity's probably not alone in this. Let's hope. I think they're going to try and use the line that NextBridge is a new company, and that's why tax rate's set. They did exactly that. When people called, they're like, well, it's a new company. Therefore, that's not how it works, man. I did not buy. It just became a new company. Javier, good day, Houston. Did you see what the VIX did towards the end of the day today? It appeared halted. It was taking off, and then my opinion, crime. I did not see what the VIX was doing. Why would they halt the VIX? Oh, weird. That is weird. Look at this. Like, meh, I'm the VIX, blah, 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 ah! Blah, 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 blah. That's weird. That's very weird. Where are we now in comparison? Oh, we're way down. So strange. So strange. Well, there's our blurb from 2020. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're all going to die. Blah, 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 blah. But that's a very weird little hiccup right there. Very strange. Like the volatility all of a sudden was like, we can't take it anymore. It's time to correct. And then the market went, just pipe down, you. Strange. I mean, it's only like $1, like 50 cents, but still. Very strange. Very strange indeed. Fee rhymes at AMC. Should we should be reported to IRS then, shouldn't it? Yeah, I think so. Why not? Fee rhymes at AMC. When did Fidelity issue the counterfeit shares? It wasn't the 29th of December, was it? I think that's when they had 2 weeks to like distribute, and my guess is it was probably sometime around then. I'll probably go back through and see on Twitter where people started reporting getting getting like, oh, go to my account, and then discovering there really wasn't anything in their account. Limit 22, can you name a few things to defend the illegal tactic scum using hedge funds have in our society? Straight lampreys, in my opinion. I mean, the big ones are selling shares that don't exist. That's probably the biggest. Putting people on the boards of companies specifically to destroy those companies so they can continue to short them. Failure to delivers. Using swaps to defeat failure to delivers. They never have to deliver anything. Pretending like the collateral they use in repos, they list it as sold assets while also listing it as assets under management. So it gets put twice in two different areas, and that fakes a lot of their filings. What other things do they do? Monkey butt. They illegally sell IPOs that don't exist, which kind of that falls under selling shares that don't exist, I guess. Those are the big ones. I mean, you do a couple of those big crimes, and that's all you have to worry about. You made enough money off of that. Who cares, right? Right, Kat? Right? Yeah, you get up there. You get up there. You sit right in front of the chat, so I can't see anything. Good job. Okay. Oh, you moved. Okay, here we go. Nil 21981. Houston, thoughts on Silvergate Insolvency? Oh, Silvergate's screwed. They're down like 97%. They were a small bank that was like, yeah, we'll do all the crypto stuff you want to do, FTX. And so they were doing all sorts of things with crypto, offering margin, offering all sorts of stuff, and all the crypto is imploding, and Silvergate has nothing. So they're toast. They're done. Should have got puts on those guys a long time ago. Now, rule: if they don't close shorts on MMTLP, they will never cover. Yeah, they won't do it unless they have to. Citizen 54, Houston, what's going on Blackstone? They lost $1.7 trillion last year. Their fund for houses is like massively underwater. I mean, those dudes have no money. They spent $600 billion in houses, and the value of that fund is like... So, I don't know what Blackstone is doing. They had hopes of Citadel dying, and then they're going to take over that retail market. They were testifying in front of Congress in 2021, like, oh yeah, no, we're fully prepared. Citadel can go belly up tomorrow, and we can take over the retail trades, no problem. And right now, they have lost almost $2 trillion in the last year. I mean, the biggest loss of any institution in the history of man. Almost $2 trillion. Like, why don't you guys just send some of that my way? I'll lose it just fine for you. You don't have to, like, buy a bunch of houses and all over the country that you're never going to sell. Like, oh yeah, let's buy $600 billion of houses at the peak of the market. That's a brilliant, brilliant plan. Yes. We see the inflation's taking off. We see the interest rates are going up. Let's buy a bunch of houses. Dude. Green-Eyed Bandit Elixir, Green-Eyed Bandit Elixir. In your classes, how often do people confuse astronomy and astrology? The first day, and then after that, sometimes the hippie who took the class doesn't come back because they thought it was going to be all about like charting their horoscopes and whatnot. But I make sure the first day we go through a whole thing about how astrology is BS and why it's not a science and why astronomy is a science. And it's a bummer that astrology took the ology part, because ology is study of the stars, and onomy is naming the stars. But because astrologists basically toxified that name, astronomers had to latch on to the next best thing, which is good name stars. But the big thing is, it's like astrology assumes that there are personality types that could be classified, yes, and that the stars and the planets have to do with those personalities. No. Psychology definitely lays out the fact that there are personality types, things you can classify people in these personality traits and types and whatnot. But a planet or a star having to do with your personality is not at all what is happening. That's not it. Again, like this glass of water has more gravitational pull on me than Jupiter. How is Jupiter supposed to have some sort of magical correlation for me? And stars that are 5,000 light years away, they got nothing on me. The only two objects that have an effect on human physiology, the sun and the moon. That's it. There's no other objects in space that can help you out. And I also like to always like have them read their horoscope, but I mix them all up. So I'm like, hey, this is your horoscope. What it says Gemini is. Why don't you read that for me? Like, oh my God, this is so me. I'm like, I lied. That's actually for Aries. And they go, So, it's fun. First day of class is always fun. Michael Hero, Houston, you have incredible knowledge of many things: stocks, rocks, baseball, science, cars. Can you explain why bumper cars never go in the directions you steer? No. There are some mysteries that are never meant to be solved there, Michael. Craig Donner, question. How do they not have 20 billion? Aren't they actively shorting stocks, driving them into this death spiral? Haven't they made a killing doing this repeatedly? Yes, they have. And they take that money and they send it offshore, never to be seen again. That's almost entirely what they do. They take that money and they go, thank you. And they put it in an offshore account in the Caymans. They, has a little string that attaches. It goes from the Cayman account to our hedge fund account. But the minute someone needs that money, the hedge fund goes, snip. I don't know what you're talking about. That money's, I don't have any money. And that's what they do. So if they got to pay their bills, they're not going to use their money to do it. They're going to try and use somebody else's money to do it. And they're going to go play with their money that they stole on the Caymans. Dosair. MMTLP is one tiny blip on how short Torch was, and this is just one small company. GME was another one, just a blip. Of the 16,000 stocks, how many naked shorts are there? Implications long term? I mean, infinity is probably closer to whatever number than I could guess. I mean, even big companies, your Amazons and your Microsofts and stuff, they still have like tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars in naked shorts on them. It's just easier to manipulate and crush the little guys than it is to like really play with those big dudes. Just weird. So many. It's impossible to name. Just all the fake stocks. Octane Clan. Why do you think more MMTLP whales are not making as much noise as Rosa and others? I mean, Berta is. I don't know I can't remember the names of the other ones. But I don't know. They might be having their own legal strategies. They might just be sitting back and waiting for someone else to do the dirty work. I honestly don't know. KYP. Houston, do you have any thoughts of the Post Hotel in Washington State? Which one's Post Hotel? Oops, I can't spell. Oh, Leavenworth. Oh, I've never stayed there. Leavenworth's awesome. I recommend going to Leavenworth. It's a little slice of Bavaria where they make all the buildings look like they're Bavarian and they force everyone to wear lederhosen. They go to McDonald's in Leavenworth and they're wearing lederhosen and they're like, Guten Tag. It's hilarious. And during the winter, what I love about Leavenworth is that during the winter, they'll do the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Like, oh my God, everyone, we're lighting the Christmas tree for the first time this year. You've got to come into town and watch us light the Christmas tree. And then everyone gathers and they do the Christmas tree like blink and everyone goes, oh, yay. And the next day they're like, hey, everybody, we're lighting the Christmas tree for the first time. You got to come into town, watch us light the Christmas tree. And they do this for like 2 months. Every single night is the first time they've lit the Christmas tree. You got to come watch it. And all the tourists are like, oh, yay. Each time it's beautiful. Cat, what do you want? What do you want, dude? He's just sitting right in front of everything. You are just a fat little purr machine, aren't you? But yeah, do it. Go to Leavenworth. It's awesome. You can take the train there. You can drive there. Highway 2 from Everett to Leavenworth. I drive that to go skiing constantly. I did the ski bus with it. And when I moved to Austria, we're driving from Munich to Kufstein. And we're going through the foothills. And I was like, this looks exactly like Highway 2 to Leavenworth. And then you end up in a Bavarian town. You're like, so there you go. No wonder they like made a little Bavaria here. I have to stress mark. I need a reset. Get that reset there, KYP. If you're going to come in the winter, I say go skiing. There's Mission Ridge and there's Stevens Pass on either side of town. Wenatchee's not too far away. Kashmir, the apple capital of the world, is there. That's about it. You can go, I mean, sledding. Icicle Creek is really cool. Like, they call it Icicle Creek because literally icicles on all the buildings, trees, everything are like 10 feet long. They're amazing. There's a picture. My friend's family has a little cabin up Icicle Creek, and they went one year, and there's a picture of 30 people holding one icicle because the thing is 50 feet long from the big corner of a cliff. And they broke it off and weighed like 500 pounds. It's pretty incredible. Also, really good garnet hunting and gold panning we had around there. You can just take some rocks next to the creek, crack them open. There's like garnets that big inside of them. Big pyrope garnets, big purple ones. Chris Taylor, hey, Houston, I recently seen some amazing archaeological finds made using LiDAR. Any cool applications of LiDAR in the field of geology, like locating deposits, resources? LiDAR doesn't necessarily locate deposits and resources. It's great for topographical reasons. Blah, 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 blah. So, if you're trying to find an old pyramid in the jungle, zap, 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 you can find it pretty well. It's great for mapping out locations. I mean, you can use it for geological reasons, for like mapping out chambers, caves, stuff that you can't quite see. LiDAR, Julianne, works great to show Carolina Bays. There you go. There's those weird little pothole lakes in Carolina that you were learning me about a few months ago. Kat, you were just in the way of the chat. You and your fat little primordial pouch. Here. Ding, 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 ding. Chupa cam. No more monkey cam. It's just gonna be Chupa's ear, right there. Can we? There we go. That's my view right now. You're on camera, Cat. Okay. Where was I? KYP, exactly. Houston, Bank of America, Wells Fargo was redlining black people from getting loans and was caught. Oh yeah, it's probably basically reparations on their part, like penalties they got to pay to make sure that to make up for hundreds of years of them being evil. Get that monkey butt back in there. Whoops. Any monkey butt? There we go. There's a monkey butt. Cat's had to lay down like a dork. Few arms at AMC, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo also got caught giving black people a lot of subprime and balloon mortgages in 2008, didn't they? Yeah. I mean, that was the name of the game. Oh, you may qualify for this fixed income loan, but you know what we should do is we should give you this one that's got an introductory rate that's fantastic. And I'm not going to tell you about what happens after those 2 years. People go, okay, because they don't know any better. When they get led into these like crazy rates and lose everything. Josh Prep Pals, I'm just bored and we had crazy weather in Tennessee. Do you guys get the tornadoes that you're worried about in Tennessee? You were saying yesterday, you're like, oh, crappy weather's coming. So hopefully you guys did all right. It was sleeting here a little earlier. Might get some more snow tonight. Ron Johnson, the 9-year-old thinks he knows what would happen if the moon drifted away from Earth's system. I have no clue. If the moon disappeared, what would the effect be on Earth? If the moon vanished, there would be no more tides. This would lead to a lot of different creatures dying, because a lot of things that depend on tidelands. A lot of birds have to eat tide creatures. A lot of creatures, like if there was no moon, there would be no human beings. The moon creating tides created an evolutionary driver for creatures that lived in those tidelands to basically live in air and live in water. And that drove gills to become lungs, which then created land creatures. And so without the moon, we would never have land creatures. So today, you got rid of the moon, tides stop entirely, right? The Earth would stop slowing down its rotation. So it would be pretty consistent for a while. My guess is you would lose all sorts of insects, all sorts of birds. I don't know what would happen to barnacles. Like, barnacles love being that tide line, but if they're underwater all the time, what then? I don't know. I don't know how they would behave. Things like mussels that live in those tide areas, certain crabs, clams, the birds that eat them all. I don't know, Cat. Do you know? You're just sitting there staring at me. Do you know? Little cat, I want to just squish his face off. Just squish his face right off. That's right. Mexican Silverback, SEC going after people using rocket ship and money bag emojis. What's up with that? They said, this is the rule. It was a court ruling. The SEC had a court rule on, is that if you tweet or put in Reddit like little rocket ships and like money bags after talking about a stock, that you are giving financial advice and telling everyone the stock is guaranteed to go up. Just silly. It's silly was what it is. So, yeah. Few homes at AMC. No, I need a home in at least 6 states. RE128, what did Fidelity just do to MMTLP? They redated everyone's acquisition of the security to December 29th of last year. And they made everyone's cost basis $2.99, when in fact it's much lower than that for most people. And they changed the tax status from long-term to short-term. So if there is a sale, you're going to owe a lot more in taxes than you would have otherwise. BOFH, pick the wallet, pull the money out as often as you can all day. Use the money to build a machine to pull money out of the wallet for you. Boom. Just cheated the system. Way to go, BOFH. You now have a factory that just pulls money out of a wallet. Fantastic. Great. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Cat, you're in the way. You're just stoically, you're fat little fupa. Yeah, I'm poking it right there. There it is. Floppy floppy. Here's your big old pile of nurples. Away today, how much money would a hedge fund, investment bank, or market maker have to make until they were happy and stopped illegal, unethical activities, let market function? They're so loaded full of like sociopaths, narcissists, psychopaths. I don't think there is a number. They want all of it. So I don't think they'll ever stop. So maybe we should just make them stop. Like, you know how like an airline pilot gets to age 62 and they're no longer allowed to be an airline pilot no matter what? Like, you made it to age 62. Congratulations. You don't get to be an airline pilot anymore. We're forcing you to retire. So what if you made $1 billion? Oh, I can't just drop my thing on the ground here. Where'd you go? There you are. You just made $1 billion and the government said, congratulations. You made $1 billion. You're done. Go sit this one out. Run some charities. Do something else with your life, because there's not going to be money things anymore. You're done. I think that'd be great. I think it'd be great to just sort of like push people out of the way so someone new can come along and have their opportunity. That's not going to happen, but it'd be awesome if it did. You'd be cool with it, right? You'd be cool with $1 billion. You'd be fine. Never have to worry about anything ever again. Sit there, eat your jerky all day long. Scott Pollan, Blackstone bond default. Yes, they defaulted on, wasn't a big bond. It's like $400 million. Some sort of, was like a Finnish investment group or something for the housing side. Because Blackstone's housing, there it is, Finnish company, Sponda Oy. Blackstone's housing investment has been terrible. They've blown so much money on that. My guess is that they're going to try and like divide some of their investments. Be like, oh, it's a different LLC that controls this particular housing investment. Doesn't have anything to do with these guys, and these guys aren't going to subsidize them. So they'll set that off on a ice flow and let it just sort of no longer be a problem for the villagers. FRAMs at AMC, we need more tiny home communities and need to change building codes and regulations, building codes. I think one of the things we need to change, and a lot of folks, you know, single family housing people, that if you're in an urban area, like city of Seattle has a huge problem with this, is there are too many single family homes in Seattle and there needs to be more multifamily homes. And there needs to be the ability to build multifamily homes in the middle of these single family home developments. Canada does a great job of this. It's amazing. You drive up I-5, you're going to Blaine, Washington, where the Peace Arch border crossing is. And you're driving through Bellingham, you have a couple little buildings here and there and a bunch of single family homes all over the place. You get into Blaine, there's like single family homes everywhere, maybe an apartment building here and there. But across the border, you immediately see like 25-story high rises in these small towns. These are towns of like 25,000 people, and they've got like 4 buildings that are 300 feet tall, right? These huge buildings. And then you like get over the first big hill across the delta for the Fraser River, and off the distance you see 4 or 5 skylines. You see, you know, Delta, Surrey, Richmond, Vancouver, North Vancouver, West Vancouver, and you see these high rises, all of this like small cities everywhere, because they basically did away with the single family residency zoning. They said, if you're going to be a city, you're a city. You can build it tall, build it short, I don't care. We're going to try to fit as many people in here as efficiently as possible. And they did make a rule, like in Vancouver, that you have to have ground floor apartments or a business in the ground floor. So you can't have like a parking garage where nothing's happening. Granted, I wouldn't want to be a young woman living on a ground floor apartment in a city of 1 million people, but it's a cheaper apartment and it keeps people, you know, watching the streets and everything. Here in America, they probably should be targeted like crazy because, you know, crime everywhere. But I think it's really cool to see the large developments that happen there. And granted, the real estate problems that Vancouver and British Columbia has are not related to zoning. It's related to foreigners using the market as a piggy bank. So they got ill-gotten gains from elsewhere. They put that money into housing in Canada, and all of a sudden they've got hard currency they didn't have before. And then the homes sit empty, and they don't get used, and then you have a housing crunch as a result. So Canada's doing some things to relegate that. They're making it harder to invest in land if you're foreign. They're doing huge taxes on if homes sit empty. You know, it's like 1 or 2% a year of the value of the home. So you buy a home for $1 million, you're going to pay, you know, $10,000 to $20,000 just in tax penalties if the home sits empty. So they're starting to like rent out those spaces. So like if you're a college kid in Vancouver, sometimes you can get screaming deals with your friends and like rent out a mansion for cheap and live just the life of luxury. Otherwise, they have to pay, you know, $70,000 in taxes on their $7 million home. And they'd rather just rent it out and not to deal with that. But, you know, I don't know. I'm a fan of tall buildings, though. I think they look cool. In my town, someone tried to build a 3-story building along the main drag. Everyone's like, oh, 3-story building. It'll feel like we're in a canyon. I'm like, shut up, you wuss. It's a 3-story building. Who cares? Like, if I had my choice, I'd build a 50-story building in the downtown. Deal with it. Citizen 54, Houston, what do you think there is under the ice on Europa? Could there be life? Europa is one of the moons of Jupiter. It's affected by tidal forces of Jupiter and Ganymede and the other moons. So there's probably eruptions happening all the time, like because it's, you know, tidal forces are pulling and twisting and stretching the planet itself, which causes for lots of melting, which causes volcanoes to happen. But it's covered in ice, so there's a liquid ocean under that ice, and it's probably heated by the volcanic action from those tidal forces. Here on Earth, we have bacteria and life that can grow in just what would be impossibly hot environments next to thermal vents and in hot springs and geysers and stuff. So it seems likely that if life were to evolve elsewhere, that there's a chance that there could be microbial life near these vents on Europa. I'm all for, like, if we're going to do a pointless mission somewhere, like, screw Mars, forget Mars, go to Europa, drill a giant hole in Europa, see if there's anything down there. As good a plan as any, as far as I'm concerned. Citizen 54, as someone mentioned, is the Fidelity BS a way to make people ineligible for a possible dividend? I don't think so. I think it has more to do with them being boneheads than anything else. Because honestly, I can't figure out how does ruining my tax basis help Fidelity, other than Fidelity just being lazy. Seems lazy more than anything. Meow meow, my credit cards are 30% interest. I have a zero balance, so I don't really care, but I still wonder why this is legal. I don't think it should be. That's loan sharking. There are laws against charging 25% interest if you're a loan shark, so why does a credit card get to do that? That just seems silly to me. Anything over 15% is usury and should not be allowed. So, I don't know. Seems like it should be illegal to me. But then again, I didn't write the rules, so I just suffer from them like everyone else. Okay. Boom, boom. I got 22 minutes left. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost caught up, though, so that's cool. Sharon Rosenblatt. All my stock with Fidelity's long-term, that's a bunch of bull. Can they even do that? I don't think so. I don't think they can. I think people are right. We probably should complain to the IRS and be like, hey, these guys are screwing up our tax filings. They have a fiduciary duty to not do that. So, yeah, part of Alan Hemsley's lawsuit is about the fiduciary duty of his brokers, and then they aren't doing their job. So, because their duty is to the clients, not to the hedge funds. So, they seem to be focusing more on helping the hedge funds and less on helping their clients, and that defeats the laws that are based on their fiduciary duty. So, by all means, let's complain, man. Rouse those rabbles. Al Roglin, regardless of what Fidelity's fraudulent records say, I have it on record that I bought Torch on a certain date and continue to hold in whatever form that makes it long term. Yes. Exactly. BLF8, Houston, if you want insight into a hedge fund market manager's mind, look up the Paperclip AI thought experiment. Replace every instance of collecting paperclips with collecting money. Excuse me. Water. Paperclip AI experiment. Write that one down. Pen. Paperclip AI experiment. Okay. I'm going to look that up indeed. Bill Coyne, there's plenty of land available for that. Changing zoning will lessen the drive for profits. Or it forces mass production to get a profit. So there's two models you can drive profit. One is you can create scarcity, right? And then the single thing you have is worth a lot of money. or 2, you can mass produce and sell a whole bunch and get a whole bunch of money. In the 1950s, post-war 1950s, there wasn't enough housing in the United States for all these families that were forming from the generation that created the boomers. And the Eisenhower administration put a limit on how much a house could be. Basically said, like, you can't sell a house for more than $10,000. Everyone's like, oh, how dare you? It's going to cause no one to have an incentive to build houses. What it ended up forcing to do was incentivize huge housing developments, because the only way it could make money was by selling thousands of houses versus just a few. So it had the actual opposite effect. So you can make it so that they can only build lots and lots of houses and just don't get as much profit per house. But the only way they get a lot of profit is if they build a whole bunch of them. So there's different ways of doing it. Oh crap, where'd you go? William Morgan. Are you willing to accept about $100 per share of MMTLP, keep your shares, and get dividends for life? I guess it would depend on what the dividends are. Personally, I'd rather get thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a share and then deal with that later. Than I would if, like, here's $100 a share. Cool. And then we're going to give you $4 every quarter for the rest of your life. Not cool. So, I'm greedy. I'm allowed to be greedy. I want more. Julianne, they won't change the building codes to allow tiny homes because they can't make the tax revenue on affordable housing as they can on McMansions. The silly thing is that they don't make the amount of revenue on mansions that they could. I think I've talked about this before. Let's do a little Zillow here. Okay. Look at my community. For sale. All right. Okay, so here's Bainbridge Island. All the homes are expensive. $825,000, $769,000, $3.5 million, 2.9, 3.3, 2.2, $993,000, 1.48, like everything. $500,000? Oh, it's a condo. $455,000 condo. How much are you? 1.8 million. 3.1 million. 950. The houses are expensive, right? So, come on, move you map. We can move to, let's see if we'll have some of these pop up here. Come on, move you map. This is the Country Club. This is some of the wealthiest real estate in America right here. These are like Weyerhaeuser, Nordstrom billionaires and whatnot. Sometimes they give us the individual homes here. Come on, show me the homes. All right, there's homes. Show me. Oh, you're not going to give me a price? You erased them. Oh, you sneaky bastards. Can we do... Let's do sold. Maybe we can get that. And give me a price? Give me a price? Give me a price? Give me a price, you little bastards. Oh, you son of a bitch. So I'll point out right now. Okay, this home right here. Southern exposure. Views of Mount Rainier. Okay, here's a $2 million 6-bedroom, 7-bath. Is that for sale right now? Or just sold? 2.8 million, 6-bedroom, 7-bath, 6,677 feet. Zillow estimate $8.3 million. So this is sold 2021. Current estimate is $8.3 million. Okay, let's see what their taxes are. Overview, facts and features, tax history. Okay, price history. Give me tax history. Tax history. Assessed value. Assessed is actually more? Oh, this is for the total land. All right, this is not the one. No, this is for all of the Country Club. All right, let's just look at everyone. we're going to go better. Because country club is a weird... Let's look on here. Do we have another big one? I know this place here sold for like $6 or $7 million. $7.5 million. Here we go. 4-bedroom, 4-bath. $7.5 million. Views of Seattle. And your assessment is $4 million. So you have a house that's almost $8 million bucks, right? And they're assessing it at about half the value. So they're paying $40,000 when they should be paying like closer to $80,000 a year in taxes. So the county itself is losing $80,000 a year on this place. But if you pick like a random condo that's sold, that's, you know, it's worth $300,000, it's going to be taxed at $300,000. Let's see another one we got. $4.5 million. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, $4.5 million. Fancy house, 4,000 square feet. What are your taxes? You're currently assessed at $2 million. So they're selling this place for $4.5 million, or just sold for $4.5 million in 2020. The Zillow estimate is $5.3 million, and the county is assessing it for less than half of what it's worth. So the county is losing out on $25,000 plus in taxes a year on this house because they're assessing it for less than it's worth. $3 million for this place. What is your assessment? So it's sold for $3 million. Zillow estimates about $3 million. And you're being assessed at $1.6 million. So again, county's losing $15,000 in taxes. Let's look at a home that's not worth very much. Okay, these are very expensive. Come on. Give me, that's Blakely. Let's go north. Let's go into town. Let's go into town here. Let's look at some cheap condo. Look at cheap condo. Okay, Winslow Way, Grove Avenue. Here's some cheap condos, some cheap 30-year-old condos here. Okay, 1-bedroom. 1-bedroom. No, don't give me Grove Community. Give me 1-bedroom place. Olympian. Walkability score. All right, nearby. No, I want this. I want this home, not Zillow. Your AI is so slow. Okay, let's do. I want to do the 1-bedroom. 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 There, 1-bedroom. Okay, 1-bedroom. $318,000 for 1-bedroom. Sold in 2020. Your tax is not telling me at all what the tax is. Okay, I'll try another condo then. 1 million. 9-bedroom? Oh, that's because that's doing the entire. Okay. 2-bedroom, $567,000. Okay. 567 for his 2-bedroom condo. 50 years old. Tax history. Tax history is at 375. Oh, it's not that bad. I thought it was going to be at 567. What was it sold at? Did it say? Sold 425. So it's pretty close. Much closer than it is for those rich homes. So the poor people are gonna be paying more for their homes in taxes by comparison than the rich folks. We can go like move. Let's go to Wing Point, another country club here. 4.1 million. Zillow estimates at $5 million. And they're paying taxes on a $2.5 million house. So again, about half. So rich people just don't ever pay what they should be paying. I should have run for county assessor and then just charged everyone. Okay. I forget why I got in that whole tangent. Oh, the McMansions thing. Yeah. They will never tax the McMansions of what they should. Lois Shotland, I'm having trouble getting my 1099 from Fidelity because of MMTLP NextBridge. Are there others having the same issue from the brokers? Right here. They told me I probably wouldn't get it till like the 15th, which I think is the last day for them to send it. So we'll see if we get it. Chris Taylor, check out the movie Europa Report. I have never heard of that movie either. Europa Report. Europa Report. Okay. quit resetting, chat. It's really annoying. I do like one scroll to look at the next thing and it just takes me all the way to the bottom. Drives me up the wall. Okay. Talking about 3D printers and prefab homes. Yeah, that's going to be a large part of the future. Ty Jones, what happens to debt when someone dies? It would be feasibly possible to live off credit cards until you die, assuming you don't have any family. Maybe. Depends on the type of debt, right? So if you do have family, sometimes that debt falls on them, especially if like, oh, I'd love to have this treasured object, this painting or whatever. The creditors will be like, nope, that belongs to us. They owe us money. So I think the best thing to do is if you are somehow gaming the system and living off of credit for the rest of your life, is that you take all of your belongings. You're in hospice. You're dying. You're not going to make it much longer. This is an ideal situation. We're talking about the instant dying in a plane crash situation. Like you've lived your long life. You're 105 years old. You're dying of 500 different ailments, and you're like, okay, time for me to do my hospice thing now. And you then sign over. Just pick some random person. You'd be like, you, Billy. You're an orderly and you're poor as shit. Give me $1. And Billy's like, okay. And gives you $1. And you say, sign this piece of paper here. And then Billy gets to own everything you've ever had for $1. Your car collection, your paintings, your house, whatever. And you check out. And as long as there's no liens on any of that stuff, Billy just made a killing. He transferred all the ownership of that stuff to him. And if all of your credit is unsecured credit, like credit cards, what are the credit card company's going to do about it? It's not in your name anymore. It's in Billy's. And Billy didn't know anything about your debt. He's not your business partner. He's not your wife. He's not your child. It's pretty awesome. I have a friend from high school. I haven't seen him in 20 years. He was really into photography, cars and motorcycles. He loved building trucks and riding motorcycles everywhere. And he moved down to, I think it was Santa Barbara. He was going to some sort of art college, doing photography. He's working in a photo store where like they sold fancy cameras and stuff. And one day, the owner of the store came up to him and was like, "Hey, Tyler, give me $1." And Tyler's like, "I need a drink or something?" He's like, "No, you just bought the store, my house, my cars, everything. I'm fleeing to a non-extradition country. I owe $1 kajillion," and he like left. And I'm not sure what turned out for Tyler, but the last time I saw him is that he had come up here with his truck, was putting much of his old motorcycles into his truck and driving back down to his new house in Santa Barbara. I have no idea. I'd never heard anything from him after that. If there was liens on that property that he bought for $1 before his boss like skipped town and gave him the business, or if like all of a sudden he was going to owe all the taxes and everything on that. Never heard a word, but I always thought it was fascinating. Just, you know, the feds are after me. I'm going to Malaysia. I'll see you later. Or you'll never see me again. Cat, you are in the way. I cannot read. Move. Like, look at this dude. Look at this dude right here. He is in the way of the chat, and I cannot see you right there. Grah. Okay. Move. Don't bite me if I'm trying to make you move. Just move. Just move. That's it. There you go. All right. Jumpagriff. Is there a share drive or a site that has info dump that contains all MMTLP documents, PowerPoints, relationships, graphs, screenshots, recorded convos, legal filings, etc.? I don't know. I know Uncle Smokey's posted a lot of stuff to like a Google Drive, but I don't know if that Google Drive is all linked together or if it's just filings that like Rosa has posted. Don't quite know. Fims just joined. Love from the ends in London, Houston. Well, awesome. It's late for you. Shouldn't you be all sleepy and tired? Corn Sir just noticed that they're now all short on their MMTLP. Adventures with a Hunter. When filing your taxes, you can adjust the cost basis and time period when you purchased. I'm sure that's great. If you get audited, you can be like, look, they screwed it up. I had to fix it for them. And hopefully Fidelity goes, it's true. Citizen 54.72 Stephen Cohen has withdrawn the application for the 24/7 exchange. At least there's some good news today. Man, like the problem with the 24-hour stuff, like the Bitcoin things, is that it never gives a human being a break. Because anything can happen at any time. So like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep. But while you're asleep, the entire crypto market collapses. You know, it just... You know, it's just going to result in a whole bunch of day traders having like grand mal seizures because they never go to sleep, which might be a good thing. I don't know. If you're on AMC, I'm going to do is file a complaint with IRS, probably SEC again, then file with info I have in my personal records. If I get audited, I have receipts. There you go. Kimberly Wickovich, Fidelity told me that when a company spins off, that changes the purchase date, and that the price was provided to them by NextBridge. NextBridge did not provide a price at all. That is a lie. So Kimberly, your rep at Fidelity lied to you. NextBridge has never told anyone a price, ever. They've not established a price for their stock. They've never listed it. There's no filing for it. The Fidelity person lied to you. Quiet Quest, any MMTLP news? You listen to John Berta Space. I did not listen to John Berta Space really today. I was busy doing work stuff. I get a chance to listen to that. All the MMTLP news that I have is that Fidelity's screwing everyone over with their tax basis for their shares from NextBridge. And that's all I got. Richard K. was monkey butt. Think about this move by Fidelity. Are they the only brokers that have done it? I don't know. I don't have shares in other brokerages, so I can't check. But if other people want to check Schwab or TD or whatever, let me know what you see when you look at your tax basis. Monkey butt, on the other hand, is just working on a bone over here, so she's given up. She's like, I'm not gonna talk stocks anymore. I'm just gonna chew on this bone because life is so much more simpler with a bone. It's almost time. It's almost time for Houston to be hit to Haley on. Ron Johnson, Fidelity claims it was AST that determined the price. It's twice the cost I actually paid. Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. But, I mean, having a higher cost basis means you'd pay less profit in the end anyway. So, it's weird. I don't know. FEMS IMH, but it's Friday, and if it's live, I'm with you. Plus, your stream is a great way to round off the week. Well, there we go. See, it's a lovely sunny day outside. It was trying to snow earlier. It's not sunny at all. It's actually kind of cloudy as crap. But I was trying to snow earlier. We've got all the lush green off over my shoulder, which is turning into a blinding white through the window because this camera has no ability to AI that away. Yeah. Okay. So. Well, I guess it's time. Got any good last little questions here? I don't see anything there. So I guess we'll wrap up. Yeah? Sound like a good plan? About before we wrap up, we do one of these. Oh, that got her attention. That got her attention. She's attentions. My feet are wrapped up in a cable here. Okay. What I'm gonna do? I am going to give you your treats because you're a good dog and you deserve a treat, right? Come get it. Come get it. Come get it. Yarr. There you go. Yeah, enjoy that. You're enjoying it? Okay. Are you enjoying it? Are you come get this one? Or you come get this one? Yeah? Oh. Come get it. You can do it. It's right there. Oh! Come on, monkey. Come right there. Come right there. Come on. Come on. Come here. You get it. Come on the chair. Do it. You can go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on the chair. No, you want to sit in the chair? We're going to make you sit in the chair for everybody and end the show. Yeah, come on. Get in the chair. Come on. Come on. Oh, you don't want to sit in the chair. Okay, there you go. Get it. Get it. Oh, no. Too scary. The chair